The days of cheap travel is over. I do not foresee a situation where the lockdown will be lifted in totality. You see, I'm very surprised at the over enthusiasm of India's private carriers in wanting to resume operations. The fact is, they can operate the flights, but will they get passengers? Now, are you expecting a different set of rules for air passengers? That I will take a flight from city A, get down at city B, and walk away to my home? It's very unlikely to happen. So, why is it that they are wanting to operate flights? But one possible reason could be that when the lockdown was first imposed, a lot of people got stranded in various cities and therefore could not reach. And they may be pestering the airlines, okay, or checking with the airlines when are they starting flights. So airlines have possibly got a false impression that there is a lot of demand, which is temporary. For a sustainable flight operation, I don't foresee a future. In fact, the airlines were already losing a lot of money and they lose more money. And BCAS has, in response, informed the ministry of various actions that are needed for flights to be allowed to be resumed. One, of course, is that the middle seat should be left vacant so that there is some distancing between two passengers. The last three rows on every flight must be left vacant, just in case there is a suspected case of an infected passenger. The last three rows can be used as an isolation ward. No food, etc., to be served so that there is minimal interaction between crew. The airline's contention is that we cannot leave the middle seat vacant because that will upset the economics of a flight operation. The airlines have mooted a suggestion that we will give all passengers gloves, we'll give them a mask, and therefore they will be safe. But when you have 100 plus people on board, or even 50 people on board, and you expect one careless passenger taking off the mask in his act of bravado, or not wanting to adhere to these norms being imposed, you are going to be risking the safety of the other passengers. You see, let's take the example of Indigo, India's largest domestic player and most profitable airline. They make a marginal profit. Now, if you were to leave 35-40% seats vacant, naturally the fare will go up to that extent minimum. The days of cheap travel is over. We don't have normalcy on the horizon anywhere close by. It's not going to be the February 2020 level of travel. CAPA, for example, has already made it clear that Indian carriers will have something like 250 aircraft to spare. My estimate is much more, that of the 650 aircraft that all airlines put together have, we may perhaps not need even 300 aircraft. That after the lockdown period, the experience of work from home and video conferencing being successfully tested, there will be a natural propensity on the part of corporate houses to do away with air travel to the extent feasible, and of course, not trying to risk their senior management personnel to any risk till the normalcy is restored. Let me quote the IATA recent survey. They checked with the recently traveled passengers who said, we're looking at 60% of the people looking at a minimum of 2 months after the coronavirus spread is contained, with the remaining 40% saying 6 months after the containment of the spread. You will take much longer time before you get on to a flight. At all stages of checks, it will take longer because of the social distancing element. You see, at the end of it is the fear of spreading coronavirus. Now, would you like to risk 90 other passengers because one passenger doesn't want to be turned back because of showing some symptoms which may not necessarily be of coronavirus? But precaution must be taken, and airlines will be advised by the government to take so. Because ultimately, it's the government responsibility that when you become a victim of coronavirus, you see, there are three aspects to it. One, whether you operate an aircraft or not, you still have to pay the lease rentals. You have to pay the employees. The second aspect is that airlines will hasten to return the aircraft if they can. So if the lease is expiring, say after 3, 4, 5 months, the other aspect of Indian carriers having ordered a large number of aircraft, the manufacturers will also be insisting on taking delivery, and how long can you defer them? And then, of course, are those airlines which have a large chunk of their flight operations to international destinations. Foreign countries are not going to allow people to come from outside. So keeping an aircraft on ground costs the airline enormously. You see, 8 carriers world over have already collapsed. And it will be difficult to say that how many will survive. But yes, a number of carriers will see collapses because of the huge demand destruction that we are going to witness. You see, the whole scenario is very scary because it is an unprecedented situation that we've gone into. The closest one can think was the 9/11 situation. But airlines came forward and came with innovations and took care of the security aspect. So I'm confident that this is purely temporary, maybe for the 6 month or 1 year period that we are talking about, but airlines will come out with innovative measures on how to deal with the situation. Many countries in the world have come out and extended bailout packages. But considering Indian government financial situation, you cannot say, I'll single out airline industry for assistance. So some help may be forthcoming and should be forthcoming, but to expect a total bailout to get them out of the situation, I don't think it's a feasible solution to it. At best would be tax deferment. You see, I think disinvestment can be put in cold storage. With airlines who are going to be potential acquirers of Air India in bad state, saddled with surplus capacity, how would they put in money to acquire Air India?